Here we go. I've got a way to frame this, Monty, because I've actually here's my analysis of the situation. The big problem, okay, was that when this announcement was made, because if you're just a fan of Korean League of Legends and you like the history of it, like I mentioned, Blaze and Frost and all this, initially it's a bad thing if you're a fan because you're like, oh, that's the system I liked and I like the good sides of it. And so initially people just rushed like, well, who do we blame? And so the obvious person to blame is Riot, right? Because you blame Riot for everything. Like, he died in the game, like with the fucking Riot. Like every Riot always gets the blame. But here's the thing, Monty. All the stories stressed the fact that no, KeSPA made this decision, or maybe teams within KeSPA wanted the move made. Maybe one team stressed it more than another. It was always presented as like, oh no, listen, Riot didn't do any of this. Riot had nothing to do with it. It just so happens that the teams did it. So here's a Thorin level analogy for you, Monty. We're going to start the show off with a bang again when we bring it back. It's going to be controversial. I'm making it up now. So here we go, Monty. Okay, I actually believe this story. I don't think Riot said you have to do this change. I don't think Riot even came to KeSPA and said you must do this change.
They didn't.
But here's the analogy, Monty. So what happened was there was a girl who started dating this guy, and he has a bit of a past. Okay, listen, he's not a wife beater or anything, but sometimes, you know, arguments happen. He loses his temper a bit. He's very controlling. Okay, he's been known to lash out, but he's reformed now. We think he's better. Okay, so this girl, she has quite like low self-esteem. You know, she used to have an old boyfriend who was really awesome, but then Blizzard killed. He just went away for some reason, and so she's sort of looking for something stable in her life. And this guy seems like he's got a good job, and he comes from a good family, and he could be really good if they could just get a good connection going. You see where I'm going here, Matty? So anyway, this girl gets with this guy, and when she hears about his past, and she's trying to form this really like strong connection, she hears that like he doesn't really like it when like his girl's out and like other men are looking at her and like she's like fraternizing with other men. So he never tells her, listen, you do that and I'll beat you up, or like I'll be very strict with you. But what happens is she starts dating him, and then she just announces one day, apropos of nothing, she says, you know what, I'm going to cancel that salsa class that I go to just because, you know, I love you so much. That's what I think. So essentially, Martin, I think that's my analogy for why KeSPA switched to a one-team system. And Riot is absolutely not to blame for anything. That's just, I'm just going to put that out there. There you go. That's the first Thorin analogy of the new Sony Insight. What do you think?